This video will teach you how to make a Tetrode carrier. The carrier consists of the gold nut, this white box, a hex screw, and a 23 gauge cannula. You'll want the 23 gauge cannula to be roughly the same size as the hex screw. Your next step will be to take the 23 gauge cannula and not only run music wire through it to ensure that it is not blocked, but you'll also want to run a 30 gauge cannula through it. This will ensure that later on, when the Tetrode carrier is made and being screwed down onto a 30 gauge, that you are totally sure it is not blocked in any way. Once this is complete, the first thing you're going to do is to take the white box and essentially screw it all the way down until it reaches the tip of the hex screw. Your next step will be to take the gold nut and screw that all the way down the hex screw until it is just touching the white carrier box. Take note of the special Loctite glue we use for gluing purposes of the Tetrode carrier. In order to actually apply the glue, you can use an old piece of cannula that is not being used or is bent in any way. When you are ready to apply the glue, the first thing you're going to want to do is to apply a considerable amount of that glue at the base of the gold nut on the hex screw itself. You don't have to go too far down the hex screw, but you want to make sure that you apply enough such that the carrier will remain attached and will not fall apart later in the construction process. Make sure you allow this initial gluing time to dry. The next part will be to actually insert the 23 gauge cannula into the small remaining hole of the white carrier box. When you do this, it doesn't matter how far it goes down, but you don't want the tip of the 23 gauge to be longer than the top of the hex screw. For the second stage of gluing, as seen here, you'll want to apply glue in 3 places: at the top of the white box, in the middle, and right below.